A stormy morning for Donald Trump as he woke up in a rage, learning that Stephanie Clifford, more commonly known as Stormy Daniels, would be taking the stand as the second witness to testify on day 13 in week 4 of Donald Trump's criminal trial. Here is what Donald Trump posted as soon as he got word that Stormy Daniels was going to be testifying today. Trump posted this morning, "I have just recently been told who the witness is today. This is unprecedented. No time for lawyers to prepare. No judge has ever run a trial in such a biased and partisan way. He is crooked and highly conflicted, even taking away my First Amendment rights. Now he's threatening me with jail, and they have no case. This according to virtually all legal scholars and experts. Why isn't the fake news media reporting his conflict?" Again, virtually everything Donald Trump said there is false. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, stated, looks like the witness today is Stormy Daniels. And then Trump immediately deleted the post that I just read. And then, as Ron Filipkowski wrote, fake tough guy Trump went from pledging to defy the judge's order when leaving his trial yesterday to stand up for his rights to meekly and quickly deleting social media posts after getting a call from his lawyer this morning. One point I want to make right here, while this criminal case against Donald Trump is for the falsification of business records relating to the 2016 election, there are some who have called it the Trump hush money case. If Donald Trump's lawyers are not prepared to cross-examine Stormy Daniels on a Stormy Daniels hush money case, maybe you need to find new lawyers there, Donald Trump. So we learned that Stormy Daniels was going to be testifying. Donald Trump made that post and then quickly deleted it. Then Donald Trump stormed into the courtroom. And right before he did that, he was reading from a script, whining and complaining about how unfair things are, and essentially admitting to the crimes that he's accused of. And he goes, "We paid our lawyers legal expenses. We didn't pay for sheetrock. We didn't pay for electricity. What else would we characterize these payments for?" Take a look at what Donald Trump said before he walked into trial, before Stormy Daniels took the stand. Now we are in week 4, day 13. Here, play this clip.
Morning America, they said, we heard that expense payments to lawyers are legal expenses. You pay a lawyer expense payments. We didn't put it down as construction costs, the purchase of sheetrock, the electrical cost. The legal expense that we paid was put down as legal expense. There's nothing else you could say. You don't have to put down anything, I guess. But we put down legal expense was legal expense. Is that a correct statement, Mr. Attorney? Yes. And everyone's saying, oh, gee, that's the fraud. That's what they're trying to get us on. The fact that we call a legal expense a legal expense. They marked it down in the books. The check was signed, and the other.
But here's the thing, Donald. These were not legal expenses. It's just essentially another criminal admission right there. These were hush money payments. This was an improper loan that was basically made to your campaign by Michael Cohen, and before that by AMI, which owns the National Enquirer, to bury damaging stories against you, to catch and kill. The very essence of this is that it does not involve any actual services that were rendered. And we saw yesterday with the testimony of your former controller at the Trump Organization for 40 years, Jeff McConney, and then after Jeff McConney, Deborah Tarasoff, who currently still runs the accounts payable for the Trump Organization and who worked there during the relevant time period, that these were reimbursements for the hush money payments that were made by Michael Cohen to Stormy Daniels. Just take a look at some of these other comments that were made in response to what Donald Trump just said there as he stormed into courtroom. Note he's reading from notes now. He can't be trusted to extemporize lest he breaks the gag order. If you have a brain at all, just ask yourself, if this is true, why doesn't he testify? Oh, no worries. I'm sure the jury will understand when you testify and tell him all about it, bro. Grant Stern writes, "We put down legal expenses because Michael Cohen is an attorney," says Trump. In fact, Michael Cohen is the same attorney who made an illegal $130,000 campaign contribution in the form of a loan, and you call the loan repayment legal expense. And that is the cover-up. Lincoln Project writes, "Say it on the stand then." This next account says, "Double dog dare him to say all that from the witness stand. Triple dog dare you. You didn't claim it as a campaign expense, which it was, and you didn't. So," and then someone's mocking Trump and goes, "I didn't even launder it the regular way, through construction. I did it through my lawyer, legal, it's fine." By the way, I'm not really sure that Donald Trump even knows the name of his lawyer, Todd Blanche, who's standing by his side, who has to like nod and just have his whole reputation shattered. He goes, "Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? Mr. Lawyer, isn't that right?" Anyway, now, before Stormy Daniels testified, Donald Trump's lawyer, Susan Necklace, objected to any information coming in about any any information about sex between Donald Trump and Stormy Daniels, saying that this case involves falsified business records. There should be no discussion at all about whether or not Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump had sex or any of these specific details. The prosecution argued, look, general details of what occurred, including the sex, are important for us to establish her credibility, Stormy Daniels' credibility. How she ended up having sex with him, including the conversation in his hotel room, and how she felt about it regarding the sex. Just basic facts of it. And, you know, one of the facts was that Donald Trump, I believe, was talking about Ivanka right before the act itself, and other conversations that were like that. So ultimately, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office won the right to have Stormy Daniels testify about her sexual encounter with Donald Trump, as Lisa Rubin reports, and how she felt about it, so long as the details remain somewhat minimal. The prosecution clarified without embarrassment that Daniels is not going to testify about the size of Donald Trump's genitalia. So that's not going to come in, and what it looked like or anything like that. But the general information about the sex can come in to establish the credibility of Stormy Daniels. So I don't think we will be hearing anything like this, like when Stormy Daniels was on Jimmy Kimmel. Here, play this clip.
All right.
That's epic. Did you do this yourself?
We had an arts and crafts day here, and we put these together. So,
That is so disturbing.
if you had to, the lineup you mentioned, and picking it out of a lineup, which of these mushrooms, orange mushrooms, would most represent the commander-in-chief of the United States military?
Can you hold it up so it's coming at me at the correct angle?
Yes. They might fall off, though. So. Oh! Is this the one?
It's a nubbin! A what? It's a nubbin! It's a little nubbin!
So for real, like this is not, you're not just picking one of the small, okay, well, this is not even the smallest one, but
No.
this is it, huh?
It's the most accurate depiction, yes.
Wow. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? Well, if you want to go on another date with him, we'd be happy to pay for it.
I thought we were friends.
Will there be a sequel to the book? This is amazing. Wow. How about that? I feel like we've gained a perspective that Bob Woodward wasn't able to get.
Before Stormy Daniels testified, there was another witness named Sally Franklin, who was a vice president at Penguin Random House. Very short cross-examination and examination of Sally Franklin. Donald Trump is not stipulating to authenticate the books that he authored, like his books, How to Get Rich, How to Do All of these things. In addition to the books and records of like the actual accounting stuff, like the actual books that were published under his name, How to Get Rich, How to Do This. And on cross-examination, Donald Trump's lawyers tried to act like, isn't it true, Miss Franklin, that when you have ghostwriters of the book, Oftentimes, the author themselves doesn't even, like the person whose name it's being written under doesn't even read the book. And then Sally Franklin's like, no, the ghostwriter usually works closely with the author themselves to make sure that it's accurate. I don't know, maybe this is a Christie Nome defense as well. This is a common trait that we're seeing, I guess, with MAGA Republicans saying the ghostwriters did it. It was all of their faults. And that's basically what Donald Trump was arguing, because in all of his books, he talks about you need to read every invoice. You need to look through everything, and then he recounts stories about, that corroborate stories, for example, that Jeff McConney told yesterday on the stand, Trump's former controller, who talked about how Donald Trump would negotiate every invoice and look through every specific line. So when Donald Trump says, I don't know anything about this, like he obviously does. Let me show you this, though, as well, going back to what I said earlier in this video where Donald Trump immediately took down that post that he made about the witness who was going to be testifying when he learned that it was Stormy Daniels. Yesterday, Donald Trump, when he was leaving court, said, look, I don't care about this gag order. You could send me to jail. I'm ready. I'm ready to make that sacrifice. Here, play this clip.
And it's a disgrace. And then you have the other thing that maybe is even more disgraceful is the gag order, where I can't I have to watch every word I tell you people. You ask me a question, a simple question, I'd like to give it, but I can't talk about it. Because this judge has given me a gag order and said you'll go to jail if you violate it. And frankly, you know what? Our Constitution is much more important than jail. It's not even close. I'll do that sacrifice any day. But what's happening here is a disgrace, and the appellate courts ought to get involved.
And that's what Donald Trump said yesterday as he was leaving court after his own accounts payable employee at the Trump organization finished testifying. But then this morning, after he made that post and his lawyers gave him a call to take it down, he sure took that down right away. So as of the recording of this video, we've got Stormy Daniels testifying. Check back shortly. I'm going to do a recap of everything that she says, but as of now, the people call Stormy Daniels. And Stephanie Clifford, aka Stormy Daniels, took the witness stand and began her testimony today. Check back shortly. We'll have an update. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.